and welcome to Hawk Mountain's Sanctuary Storytime. I'm so happy that you're here. If you're happy too, shake your tail feathers. At Hawk Mountain, we love nature. We love the birds, especially the raptors. We love the plants. We love all wildlife because all living things are connected. If you love wildlife too, move around like your favorite animal. Today's program is An Egg is Quiet, and we are going to have such a good time. Okay, so I am so excited you're here joining us today. We are going to learn all about the magical and mysterious world of eggs. First, we're going to learn about what types of different animals lay eggs, and then we are going to read an awesome book, An Egg is Quiet. And then we're going to take a look at some real eggs and try to guess what animals laid those eggs. And we have a very special guest joining us today who's going to share with us some very interesting eggs. And that special guest is Ridgetop Rachel.
Hi, everyone. Hi, friends.
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining us. Then at the end of the program, we are going to meet a live animal friend who actually lays eggs and has laid an egg recently this year. So we're going to get started. First, we're going to talk about what kind of animals lay eggs. So we're going to play a game. I'm going to hold up an animal, and if you think that animal lays eggs, you're going to give thumbs up that yes, that animal lays eggs. And if I hold up an animal and you don't think that animal lays an egg, you're going to say thumbs down because that animal doesn't lay eggs. Okay, we're going to start with a fox. Does a fox lay an egg? No, no. What about, ooh, P.U., a skunk? Does a skunk lay an egg? No. What about, oh my goodness, it's a spider. It's a spider. I love spiders. Do spiders lay eggs? Thumbs up. Yes, yes they do. What about a cardinal? Thumbs up. Yup, lays eggs. What about a little mouse? Squeak, 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 squeak. Does a mouse lay an egg? What about ribbit, 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 ribbit? Does a frog lay an egg? You bet, you bet. What about a hedgehog? No. What about a beautiful butterfly? Yes. What about a great big giant giraffe? No. What about another big African animal? What about an elephant? No. What about a lizard, like an iguana? What do you think? Yes. What about one of my favorites, a parrot? Yes. What about a gorilla? Lay an egg? No. What about a snake? Yes, snakes lay eggs. What about a sea turtle? Yes. What about an alligator? Yes. What about a penguin? Yes. What about insects? Bzzz. Yes. What about an orangutan? No. And what about a fish? Yes. And lastly, a mermaid? Well, we're still not sure about that one. So how did everyone do in that game? Were you able to guess which animals laid eggs and which didn't? So we discovered there's a lot of different types of animals that lay eggs. And if you noticed, when we saw animals that didn't lay eggs, like the orangutan, like the mouse, like the fox, did you notice all of those animals had fur or hair? That's because they're mammals, and mammals don't lay eggs. They give birth to live young. So we know lots of different types of animals lay eggs, but do all eggs look the same? What do you think? Actually, eggs are so different. They come in so many different shapes and sizes, and different types of animals lay different types of eggs. They can be big, small, different colors. Some eggs even feel different. Some eggs are hard, like bird eggs, and some eggs are soft, like reptile eggs, and some eggs are even gooey, like amphibian eggs. And amphibians are the frogs, the toads, the salamanders, and newts. And the reptiles are the animals with scales, like the lizards, the snakes, the turtles, and the tortoises. And I am wondering if you have seen any eggs outside in nature, maybe in your backyard or in your neighborhood. So the next time you're outside, take a look around and see if you can spot any eggs. Because guess what? It's that time of year. It's springtime when animals are out and about laying eggs and getting ready to have their babies. But remember, if you do see an egg, only look with your eyes and don't touch it, because we don't want to disturb any wildlife. So now we are getting ready to read this book. I love this book. It's called An Egg is Quiet, and we're going to learn more about eggs. And just look at this beautiful color on the inside. Does that remind you of the speckles on an egg? Look at all these beautiful shapes and colors and sizes and patterns of all these different eggs. We're going to learn about them. An egg is quiet. It sits there under its mother's feathers, on top of its father's feet, or buried beneath the sand, warm and cozy. Here we have the little hummingbird sitting on her eggs. Here we have the emperor penguin, and the dad penguin carries the eggs in his feet. And here we have a sea turtle, a Kemp's Ridley sea turtle. The mom is burying her eggs in the sand. An egg is colorful. Look at all those colors. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Look at all these colors. Man, we have a great blue heron egg. It's big and light blue. A little blue heron egg. It's green. This is a turkey egg. This little yellow egg is a passion vine butterfly egg. This red egg is a mocking thrush egg. We have this little green egg is a lobster egg, and that's the exact size of it. It's like a little pea, a lobster egg. This red egg over here is a salmon egg. This little orange one is a blue crab egg. So many different eggs. And this little one, tiny one, it looks like a miniature tiny banana, is a cricket egg. Look at all those colors. An egg is shapely. There are round eggs, like this sea turtle egg. Sea turtles dig a hole in the sand with their flippers and lay up to 200 soft, round eggs. Round eggs fit together nicely in tight spaces. There are oval eggs, like this Ladybug Beetle Egg. When ladybugs hatch as larvae, their first meal is often the egg case they crawled out of. Look at that, wow. There are pointy eggs, like this egg. And this is the egg of a common mure, which is a seabird. So seabird eggs are pointy at one end, so if they're laid on a rock ledge, they roll around in safe little circles, not off the cliffs. There are even tubular eggs. Wow, look at that. That is the egg of a dogfish, which is a type of shark. While most sharks give birth to live young, some sharks, like the dogfish, begin life in a leathery egg case with tendrils. The tendrils anchor the eggs to seaweed so they won't be swept away with the ocean current. And I was just wondering if you know what a dogfish looks like, this type of shark. So that is what it looks like that lays that tubular egg. An egg is clever. An egg is clever. It doesn't want to be found. The markings on some eggs help them blend in with their surroundings. This is called camouflage. Camouflage is an egg's way of hiding. An egg might be speckled to resemble the rocks around it, or it may be gray, like the color of mud by a lake. An egg does not want to be eaten by a raccoon, or a snake, or a fox, or an insect. Now, in this picture, there's one egg hiding in here, and I wonder if you can find it. Can you find the egg? It's camouflaged really well. It's actually right here, right there. That is the egg of a sooty tern, which is a type of shorebird. Doesn't it blend in really well? Eggs come in different sizes. Some are really big, like the ostrich egg, and some are really, really small, like the hummingbird egg. An ostrich egg can weigh as much as 8 pounds. It's so big and round, it takes 2 hands to hold one ostrich egg. And the hummingbird eggs are so small, they're the size of a jelly bean. And guess what I happen to have right here? A jelly bean. Just imagine, that's the size of a hummingbird egg. It would take almost 2,000 hummingbird eggs to equal the size of one ostrich egg. An egg is artistic. Look at all this beautiful art, but it's nature's art. It's natural art. It's the pattern and color of these eggs. Here we have green lacewing eggs, and that's like a type of insect. Look at those little eggs. Here we have an Arctic tern egg, type of bird. Oh my gosh, this blue one, the grosbeak, the evening grosbeak. The little red one is the Atlantic salmon, a fish egg. Here we have little katydid eggs, little insect eggs. Look at this pretty swirls over here, the light blue and black swirls. That's a red-winged blackbird. Up here, this big one, kind of peaches, is a paradise crow. So many beautiful colored eggs. It's art. An egg is textured. Now, textured describes the way something feels. It's talking about the way an egg feels. So eggs have different types of textures. They feel differently. There are hard eggs. Bird eggs are hard, and this is the egg of a boat-tailed grackle bird. There are soft eggs, like this iguana egg, and reptiles have soft and rubbery eggs often. And then there are the gooey eggs, like this leopard frog eggs here. Amphibian eggs are gooey, The goo keeps them from drying out. And again, amphibians are the frogs, toads, salamanders, and newts. There are smooth eggs. Most bird eggs are smooth, like this black vulture egg. There are also rough eggs, like this cassowary bird egg. The eggs of cassowaries, emus, and cormorants are rough. Those are all types of birds. An egg might even be fossilized. Oh my goodness, what is a fossil? What is a fossil? The remains of creatures that died millions of years ago may become rock hard or fossilized. Scientists have unearthed fossilized dinosaur eggs all around the world. Some are round and some are long and like ovals. Some are as small as 1 inch and some are as large as 20 inches across. Scientists believe that all dinosaurs laid eggs. An egg is giving. An egg gives the little baby creature everything it needs to survive. The shell of the egg is its home. The yellow yolk is its food. The egg white, which we call the albumin, is its pillow. And the shell is covered with teeny tiny holes which allow air to enter the egg. So the little creatures inside can breathe. So over here we have some timelines of different types of creatures inside their eggs. So the first one, you can see, this is the chicken, this is a salmon, and this is a cricket. So you can see at 3 days old, the little chicken embryo is so tiny, and slowly as days go by, it gets bigger, it starts to develop, and now you can see at 18 days, you can see it looks like a little chicken side, and then finally it hatches. And same with the salmon. It starts off really tiny embryo and starts growing, looks more fish-like, and there you go. And look at that little cricket egg growing inside. And then after 15 days, it might be ready to go. So an egg is quiet. Look at those big bird feet, those big bird legs. An egg is quiet until suddenly, what's gonna happen? An egg is noisy, and all the nestlings have hatched and they're saying peep, 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 cheep, 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 peep, peep, peep. They're so noisy, but it's not just the baby birds that are making noise. Other eggs hatch too. Here we have the little baby green vegetable bugs that just hatched from their eggs, and they're going crunch, 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 crunch. And here you have the caterpillar, the passion vine caterpillar that just hatched from its egg, and it's eating the egg case and going crunch, 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 crunch. And these little nestlings are actually black-necked stilts. And finally, the last page shows all these different pictures of different creatures that lay eggs. You can see there's lots of birds in there. There's sea creatures like crabs. So many things. There's insects. There we have our iguana, ladybug, all sorts of birds, butterflies, frogs. Look at all those creatures. Wow. And I just wanted to show one more picture of some other sea creatures that lay eggs, because I love going to the beach. I don't know about you. Have you ever seen a horseshoe crab? Look at all those eggs. These are the eggs they lay. Or have you ever seen some shells at the beach? The shells, these creatures, like perhaps like whelks and things like that, and conchs, they lay eggs. That's what their eggs look like. So that's fascinating. I hope you enjoyed that book. I enjoyed reading it to you. And I'm wondering, hey, Ridgetop Rachel, have you seen any interesting eggs lately?
Hi, friends. Thanks, Jungle Jamie. In fact, I have with me right now is an egg. It's the largest egg on Earth. And in fact, I have to use both hands to hold it. Can you guess what animal laid this egg? I'm touching it and I can feel it's very smooth. However, the shell is hard. Can you guess what animal laid this egg? I have another egg. And in fact, wow, the shell is hard. Just like that first egg, it's very hard, but the skin, the shell is actually rough. And the color of this egg is greenish blue. It's very dark. It's almost black. That first egg is almost white. Can you guess what animal laid these eggs? Well, let's learn more about them. I'd like to share some information. And if you guessed ostrich as the first bird, you're correct. Ostriches are the largest animal on Earth. In fact, they're the largest bird. I'm sorry, by the way, we know an animal is a bird because it has feathers. Well, do you know that one ostrich egg equals 24 chicken eggs? And although ostriches do not fly, they can run very, very fast on their long legs, and they live in Africa. Well, the second egg that I showed you came from an emu, which is the world's second largest bird. An emu egg can weigh more than 1 pound. That's the equivalent of 12 chicken eggs. And they look like avocados. Well, emus love water. They're great swimmers in Australia. And just like the ostrich, emus cannot fly. Well, thank you so much, friends. Thanks for learning about ostrich and emu eggs coming from the world's first largest bird and the second largest bird. Thanks, Jungle Jamie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ridgetop Rachel. That was so cool seeing those super huge eggs from the ostrich and emu and learning about them. Thank you so much, Ridgetop Rachel. So now we're going to play a little game to review what we've learned about eggs from different groups of animals. So I'm going to hold up and show you an egg, and you're going to guess and tell me what group of animal it came from. Okay, what do we have first? This is an egg. Look at it. Now, I know you can't feel it, but just believe me when I tell you it's hard. It has a hard shell. It's very smooth. Do you think this egg came from a bird, a reptile, a snake, a turtle, a tortoise, a lizard, or an amphibian, like a frog, a toad, a salamander, a newt? What do you think? If you said bird, you're correct. In fact, that egg came from a kestrel, an American kestrel, our smallest falcon that's flap, 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 flapping. They are laying their eggs right now in kestrel nest boxes close to you. Very good. If you said bird, very good. Okay, the next egg I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to show you a picture on my computer screen. Okay, can you see that picture of that cluster of eggs? Can you tell that those eggs are in water? They are in water. And you know what? Do those eggs look kind of gooey? Do they look kind of gooey to you? Do you think those eggs came from a bird, a reptile, or an amphibian? Well, if you said amphibian, you're right, because those were frog eggs. Amphibians often lay their eggs in the water, and they're very gooey so that the eggs don't dry out. So very good. So next, I am going to show you a real egg that was laid. Like, this is so real. It was laid very recently. Oh my goodness, wait till you see this. Oh my goodness. Look at this egg. Do you see this? Whoa, take a look at that. I can tell you it's a little soft. It's a little rubbery. Do you think this egg came from a bird, a reptile, or an amphibian? If you said reptile, you are right. Oh my goodness. And guess what? You're in for a treat. We are going to meet the actual reptile that laid that egg. So we know reptiles, all reptiles have scales covering their skin, but this reptile we're going to meet does not have any legs. Can you guess what it is? What could it be? Give me a second. If you guess snake, oh my goodness, you are correct. This lovely snake is my friend Catalina, and Catalina a few weeks ago started laying eggs, and that is what I just showed you. So I know Catalina is a girl, because sometimes for snakes it can be hard to tell if it's a girl or a boy. So Catalina is an albino bull snake. Now, she's not a wild snake, she's a pet snake. She's my pet, my companion snake, and she lives with me at my house. But are bull snakes living in the wild? Yes, but Catalina, no. Bull snakes do live in the wild, not in Pennsylvania where Hawk Mountain is, but in the central middle part of the United States, and all the way up a little bit into Canada, and all the way down south a little bit into Mexico. They're very big snakes. They can get to be 8 feet long. And she's albino, like I mentioned before, which means she has different coloration in her skin and in her eyes. Can you see she has some pink there? Normal bull snakes wouldn't be bright yellow and pink. And oftentimes when people breed snakes to have as pets, they breed these pretty albino colors. And what is she doing with her tongue? She is sniffing you to say hello. That is how they smell. And maybe you can try to smell Catalina with your tongue. So I wish you could touch Catalina and hold her like I am to feel her beautiful, shiny scales. But I have to tell you a secret. When I first started learning about snakes, I said to myself, geez, I know that snakes lay eggs, but where do they lay their eggs from? Where is there an opening on a snake for that big egg, for this big egg to come out of? Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. It comes out of their cloaca. Can you say cloaca? Cloaca. So all reptiles, all snakes, turtles, tortoises, lizards, and all birds have one opening called the cloaca. And we're going to get personal here with Catalina. I'm going to show you. And it might look like the snake's whole body is the tail, but it's not. It's just this little section. This is the only part that's the tail. And right there, can you see that little curved area? This little vent right here looks like a little half moon. That's the cloaca. So that's where the eggs come out of. And also, that's where she goes to the bathroom. And that's okay. And that's how they work. So a cloaca is very important to snakes and all reptiles and birds. So I hope that you really enjoyed meeting Catalina. She really enjoyed meeting you. And I hope that you enjoyed learning about eggs. Eggs are so awesome. And we have emailed everyone who registered some cool coloring pages that you can continue to celebrate eggs in your own home. You can print them out. We emailed everyone the robin with the nest of her blue eggs, but you can color the eggs whatever color you want. We also emailed out the life cycle of a salmon, so you can color in fish eggs and learn all about that. And the life cycle of a butterfly, because we know butterflies lay eggs and they go through metamorphosis. And we certainly know frogs lay eggs, so you can enjoy those pictures. Kids, I also encourage you to get creative and come up with some crafts to make your own eggs from any sort of materials or art supplies you have at your own house, because we know that eggs are colorful and artistic and comes in lots of different shapes and colors. So I hope that you enjoyed that, and let's see if we can get our music back on before we say goodbye. Right, so thank you everyone so much for joining us today. Thank you, Ridgetop Rachel. Ridgetop Rachel is awesome. We are doing Sanctuary Storytime the second and fourth Thursday of every month at 11 a.m. So our next one is on Thursday, May 28th at 11, and we're gonna read the book, A Nest is Noisy. So I hope that you join us. Have a great day. And remember, when you're outside, keep your eyes open for any eggs you might spy in nature. But remember, just look, don't touch, because we always want to respect nature. Isn't that right, Catalina? Thanks so much. We hope to see you again soon. Happy spring.